today we are going to start with the if, else, elif, and loop.
Abhishek,
Yes.
Shweta here. I just have a doubt regarding AND operator and bitwise AND operator. We are getting different output. So I'm a little bit confused on that topic.
Okay. See, called logical operator. Why we say logical operator? Because it requires the logic as its operand. Okay, and that logic will be implemented as like it will be executed, and then it will see whether it is true or false. Based on that, it will give you the output. So if I'm writing true and false, so this true and false, see what I said, the expression will be evaluated as true and false. Here you have written true and false itself. So the result will be based on the AND table. The result will be false itself. Okay. Now let's say if you are going to write a logic where you are writing 10 equal to 10 and 10 less than 20. So in this case, both are evaluated as true. This is also true and this is also true, right? So basically what will happen here? This will get replaced with what? True, and this will get replaced with what? True, right? So the result will be what? True, correct? Now, let's say if you are writing this 10 and 20. Now what I said, the expression is evaluated as true and false, okay? So let's say if I'm writing 10 and 20, so this 10 is a simplest expression, this 20 is a simplest expression. For this, I have given you one formula that if it will return A, if A is false, else it will return B. Okay, so it will return the value. Now this, see the previous expression which I wrote here, 10 equal to 10 and 10 less than 20. This expression is not giving you any value like 10 and 20, right? This is getting executed as true and false. That's why based on the table, we are getting the result, okay? But here, this expression will not get evaluated as true and false. After executing this expression, the result will be the numerical value only, okay?
Yeah.
Now, based on this, so now if see what I said, if A is false, then it will return A, otherwise B. Why? Because it gives importance to the false, right? So this is also, this is first expression is true because it is not zero. So it will go and check whether second expression is true, false or not. Okay. Since second expression is also not false, and after this we don't have anything else to check, so it will execute this and it will give you the result as 20. Okay. Now, when we are coming to bitwise operator, if you are writing bitwise and works on the bits, it converts everything into the bits. After doing the after converting it into the bits, it does the bitwise operation on every bit, and then the after bitwise operation, whatever result, it returns that result. Okay, it is not based on this, any of these values, okay, or any of these operations, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
internally it is going to do the operation. If you're writing 10 and 20, so 10 will be converted to binary, so that is 1010. Okay, now 20 will be converted into binary 10100. So this is 4 digit, you have to make it 5 digits, so this is 1. And now you do the bitwise operation here. So if you are going to do the bitwise operation, so we know in the case of AND, if at least one value is false, the whole result will be false. So here you will see that only this value is there, right? Only this value is 1, rest all are false. So here I will write 000, and then this will be 1 and 0. So basically the result will be 2. So if I will execute 10 and 20, I'll get the result as 2. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Not this and this. Okay. So 101, I have made the mistake. 10100 will be this. 10100. Okay. For 20 and 1010 for 10. So now everything will be 0. This is 0. This is 0. This is 0. This is 0. So everything will be 0. So the result is 0.
Yes. Thank you, Abhishek.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other question? No. So now what is okay? So if else and elif, they are called conditional statement. Okay. Why do we say conditional statement? So conditional statement, they are used to write the condition, check the condition, and based on that we execute a block of code. Okay. For example, I'm going to take one input from the user. We have discussed yesterday input and print function, right? So I'm going to take one input from the user. The number will be from 0 to, let's say, 3. I will be taking this integer value from the user, and the corresponding word value I will print. Okay? So for example, if user enters 0, I will print 0. Okay. Or if user enters 1, I will print 1. Okay, so like that. So for that, what I will take one number from the user, num input. Okay, enter a number from 0 to 9. Now, what I check, if num equal to 0, then I will print 0. Okay, correct. Now, the next, let's say if, so I have to check here that if user enters 0, then it will be 0. Otherwise, if it is not 0, then I have to check for other number. So I'll be writing one more if equal to 1, then print 1. Otherwise, if num equal to 2, then print 2. Now, if user enters, like, apart from 0 to 9, if he will enter anything else, then what we will say that this number is not in the range, right? So For that we have else block. So let's say if this condition, if we want some condition to be satisfied, then we will write it in the if condition, and if that condition is not satisfied, then whatever default block I want to execute, I will be writing it in the else block. So I'll be writing here else, that if user doesn't enter any of these numbers, then I will print number is not in range 0 to 9. Okay, so now let's execute this code. So if I will run this code, let's say if I'm entering 0, so it should print 0, right? That's it. So if I'm running this code, I'm getting 0. But if you'll see here, I'm getting one more output, number is not in range. Okay, fine. Why I'm getting this, I'll explain it. But one thing you have seen, that if number is 0, it is printing 0. Now let's say if I will exit, so let me remove this as of now. I will enter 1, so I'm getting 1. Let's say if I will run this code, if I'll enter 9, I will get this. Let's say if I'll enter 7, I'll get this. But if I will enter 10, then I'm not getting anything. Clear? So for that, I will be writing the else block. Clear? So this is the else block. Now let's say run this. I'm entering 10. So I'm getting number is not in range 0 to 9. Okay. But one problem here, that if you are entering these values in this range also, then in except in 9, you are getting, let's say, if you will write 9, then you will get 9, and this value will not be printed, like else block will not be executed. But apart from this, if you will enter any other value, then it will print the corresponding value in the word, as well as it will execute the else block also. Okay. Why? See, this else block, so whenever you write the else block is mapped to the just previous if block. Okay, so this else block is mapped to this if block. Okay, so if this if block is false, then this else block will be executed. Okay, if this else block is false, then this block will be executed. And this if block is false in all the cases if you are entering any number from 0 to 8. Correct? Clear? So what happens here if you enter 0? Okay, if you enter 0, then what if statement does? If statement is a normal execution of the code, it will be executed. Okay, so if you enter 0, it checks here 0 equal to 0, so it will print 0. Okay, now, but after that it will execute this if block also. It will check whether 0 equal to 1 or not. So this is false, it will not execute any code in this. This is also false, it will not execute. This is also false, 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 this is false, 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 and this is also false. Last if statement is also false. Since this is false, so it is executing the else block. Clear, everyone? So what we can see
Yes.
here, if we have multiple if block to execute, then we should not write it in if block. Okay, fine. What we should do, we should write something like elif block. Okay, for that we have elif block. What we can do, we can write this code in elif. So elif means what? Else if. Else if means what? If previous if statement is false, then only come and execute this elif statement. Okay. In that case, this else block will be execute only once if none of these if and elif condition will be satisfied. Okay. If none of these if or elif conditions are satisfied, then only this else block will be executed. Okay. So now let's run this code. So I'm entering 0. Now you'll see I'm getting only 0. Let's see if I'll enter 8, then only I'll get 8. Then if I'm entering 9, I'll get 9 only. Let's see if I'll enter 10, then I will get number is not in the range. Clear, everyone? How you can use if, else, and elif?
Yes.
Rajesh is asking when to use equal to and double equal to. See, Rajesh, equal to is an assignment operator. Okay. Equal to is an assignment operator. Okay, so let's say if you have a value which you assign to a variable, okay, for example, and I want to assign this value to a variable, then I'll be writing a equal to 10. Or let's say if I have a name which I want to assign to a variable name, then I will be writing that in the string. Okay, so this name I am assigning to a variable. Okay, but equality operator is used to do the comparison. Okay, this equality operator or not equal to operator is used to do the comparison. For example, if I want to compare the two values, for example, I have a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 10, 20. I want to compare whether both the values are similar or not. So see, in this is assignment operator, but here I am going to write the equality operator, a equal to b if I am writing. So this is equality operator. I am comparing whether the value in a and the value in b is equal or not. Okay, so if I'll run this, I will get false because it is not equal. Okay, clear? Okay. Okay, so I hope this is clear where you can use if, else, and elif block. Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what you need to do, you write a program, okay? Calculator, where what you will do, you will take the two numbers from the user, okay? First thing, and also take the operation from the user, okay? Input. For example, if user wants to do addition, then he will enter one dot add, like means he will just enter one. So you will ask him to enter the operation, okay, and you will give him the option that if you want to do addition, then you press 1. If you want to do subtraction, then press 2, and so on. Okay, so he will just enter the number corresponding. So if he wants to do addition, he will enter 1. So that option you will give here like that. Okay, fine. It will show it to him. These all things: 1 for addition, 2 for subtraction, or 3 for multiplication, okay, or 4 for division, float division, or float division, exponent. So all these operations he will be able to do based on if elif condition. So just do that. Now, in that, what you need to do, you have to check whether the number is first number is greater than second number. If first number is greater than second number, then in the case of subtraction and division, you have to subtract and divide the number smaller number from the larger number. Okay, okay, so this is one. Second, find the largest of three numbers, okay, a comma b comma c, and these numbers will be taken from user. Okay, fine. Okay.
Abhishek just had a small query.
Yes.
Abhishek will accept two numbers from the user and either add, subtract, or multiply them. That's it, right?
No, add, subtract, multiply, float division, any operation. Total, how many operations you have? Mathematical operation: add, subtract, multiplication, float division, exponent, remainder. Total 7 operation you have, right? Okay. And find the year whether it is a leap year or not. Okay, how you can check whether a year is leap year or not? So first you need to check whether if year is divisible by 4. Okay, if it is divisible by 4, then you have to check whether it is divisible by 100. Okay, if it is divisible by 100, then whether it is divisible by 400. If all these things are evaluated as true, then the year is leap year. Okay, one thing. Second, if year is divisible by 4, if year is divisible by 4 and divisible by 100, okay, but not divisible by 400, then not leap year. Okay, and if year is divisible by 4 and not divisible by 100, then year is leap year. Okay, and the last one, if year is not divisible by 4, then not leap year. Okay. Fine. So you have to satisfy all these conditions, then you have to check whether a year is leap year or not. I will give you the years, which all years are leap year and which all years are not leap year. I will give you the set of that. So, for example, leap year, you have to check leap year, for example, 1600, okay, or 2000, or 2004. 1968. Okay. This is all our leap year. Leap year 1800, 1700, 1900, okay, and then 1999. These all are leap year. Okay, fine. So you can check with these inputs. Fine. Try this. Reprogram. Yes, Pani. Any question?
Sorry, yeah, Pani here. So quick question. On this if and elif, if I look at the code which you have written on top, what benefit do we get? Because as I see it, elif is only increasing the code by 2 letters ELN more. Otherwise, if was working fine. So are there special conditions where elif becomes better than writing if?
Yeah, that's what. So if you have multiple conditions to check, it is better to what to say, write it in elif. The reason is, see, let's say if I will write this code in a function. Okay, and same thing. Num underscore word 1 and remove this elif everywhere. Okay, so let's say if I will call this, okay. So if I'll execute this, So first one I'm entering 0 and here I'm entering 0. Number. One minute. Okay. What I will do, I will take 0 here and here also I will take 0. And I'm not going to enter the input, so there will be no time lag. But what I will do, I will take start time and end time. st underscore time is equal to time dot time. And then I will call function num underscore word and e underscore time is equal to time dot time. this is going to be num1 and now print e underscore time minus st underscore time. And here also it will be. So if I'll execute this, see what I have done. I have entered 0. Here also I have entered 0. So there will be no lag in giving the input, right? And let's see that how much time both this function execution takes. So if I run this, so you can see here that the first one, it is taking 0.001845, okay, and this is taking 0.001969 seconds, okay. So basically here what happens, since it is checking every if statement, okay, this if statement, then every if statement it has to check, it takes more time compared to this, okay, fine. In this case, say first itself has taken as num equal to 0 is true, so it will not go and check rest of the elif statement, it will come out of the function immediately.
Got that. Okay.
Okay. Yes, you need to use colon Shubham after every condition. Time is a time module which comes with a lot of functions, okay. So for example, if you want to count the time, how much time a particular function execution takes place, so you can use time.time. You can start, like, whenever it starts, so you will just point that time with time.time and then end the time after the execution of this call, and then you will subtract it. End time, from end time you will subtract start time, so you'll get the time taken by this function to execute. Similarly here also. Shubham, find the largest of 3 numbers. I think I have told you. Yes, Shankar.
If you see the program,
Hmm.
The program if else, right?
Hmm.
So if I take that particular number,
Okay.
if you find that particular number, go to that particular loop rather than going to if and else and all. That will improve the performance, right?
Where? This.
Yeah.
No, in this it will not go to that particular if block. It will go and check every if block, because if block is the default execution. It comes in the default execution block. Okay. By default, every if block will be. It will be like your program will check every if block. Okay. Clear. Whereas when it comes to this, since this is true, so it is not going to check other elif block because the first condition is itself true. Let's say if this is false, let's say if you enter this is 1, okay, so it will check first if it is false. Now it will come to the second elif, okay, because the if before this elif is false, so it will come to this elif. Since this is true, so it is not going to check rest of the elif. Okay.
What my question is, if I want to check the 9 number from the first logic, I need to go to the till the end and I need to verify. So
no, you cannot do that. In this if elif, you cannot do that. It will come from top to bottom. It will check every if condition. It will not come directly to if. Okay.
What my question is, if you go to the top, it's not about this if loop. If I go to, I want to check the 9 number. It has to cross eight else if conditions, right? It go to 9. So you are comparing 8 times. Instead of it, do you have any, like, if you find that number, go to that particular if block. So it will improve the particular.
Not here, not here. So what you can do.
You got my question, right?
Yeah, I got it. No, you cannot do that. We don't have such function.
Consider this as a like a if block, right? Consider this as a person. Suppose I'm having the 1000 records. If you go to the 1000 record is my search condition. If you want to search 1000 records, if you compare it, the object, it will take 1000 comparisons. It is performance is low.
No, that is the check you have to do. So if you do some, let's say, if you have 1000 email IDs and you want to check a particular pattern in the 1000 email IDs, you have to go through that 1000 email IDs because your computer is not able to see. Okay, like you are able to see that 9 is the number. Okay, but your computer is not having, it doesn't have any vision which can go to that particular data and can pick that particular value and then it can give you the result. No, it will not be able to do that. Understood? It has to do the comparison and check for every value. Okay. Pratap, it doesn't work like this. Probably you are working with this. Don't work with this formatting. Yesterday I've told you to do the formatting. That way you have to do the formatting. Okay.
To check the complexity or time taken for
1 minute.
each function.
Yes, tell me. Shankar?
Yeah, is it audible?
Yes.
So to check the complexity of the program. So is it the way we need to compare the time limit and
What is the complexity?
see how much time the particular function is taken to run it. So this is the only way we
No,
need
it is not complexity. Complexity is whether it is n square or log n, those all things, right? Correct? Fine. How do you find the complexity? How many times you are running the loop? Correct? For example, let's say if you have one loop for I in range, okay? So the complexity here will be n. Let's say if you are running two loops, okay, but those loops are nested for j in range something, then the complexity here will be n square. Okay, let's say if you are running through three loops, but those all also are nested. So for k in again range, so the complexity here will be n cube. Okay, but let's say if you are running all these three loops separately, okay, not in nested loop, then this will be, the complexity will be n plus n plus n, which is 3n, which is n. Okay, so here the complexity is n for this code. Okay.
Okay. So the question here is like, so for to track the how much time is taken to particular to run the function.
Yeah, time, for time, if you want to check for time, I have given this. You can check this function. Time complexity is, you can find the time complexity using this. Okay. Based on n is not only time, space complexity also you can find, but when you want to check how much time it is taking exactly, then you have this time module, time.time. You can use st time and n time, and based on that you can find. Obviously this will take lesser time. Why we don't have this if condition here? So this if condition, why we are not using? Because it is going to check every if condition, whereas this elif, that's why we have came up with the elif. So what this elif does, this elif will not execute the rest of the elif block if the any if or elif block is true before that particular elif. Okay, so it will take lesser time compared to this if you will do using if. Okay, yes, Sagar.
Abhishek, completely different topic. In Anaconda Navigator, how can I change my default Explorer to Chrome? It's launching into different Explorer, and I want to change the default to Chrome.
Which Explorer it is launching?
Edge.
Okay, so that's fine. No, you can work there. No problem.
Okay.
I don't know how to change the Explorer. For me, it was in my other laptop. It was launching in what is it? VLC Media Player. Okay. So
Okay.
what I used to do, I used to. You will be getting one this terminal you might be getting. Okay, or command prompt. In that command prompt, it shows you one link. Copy and paste one of these URLs. Okay, HTTPS localhost something.
Mm-hmm.
Copy that link and paste it in browser wherever you want to open. There it will open.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so all this thing is done, everyone. So see how you are going to do this. So I have seen this program. People have done this. So I will take this number 1 is equal to int input enter first number, num2 is equal to int input enter. Now section is equal to input. if p equal to 1 and num1 plus num2 and if p equal to 2 and if num1 greater than num2 then print 1 minus num2 equal to 3 1 into num2 and if equal to 4 num1 into 0 plus num2 plus num1 then num1 double slash num2 into double slash num1. Okay, now else then operation is this 10 20. So I will enter 1, so the answer is 30. Okay, so let's see if I'll enter 10 20 and I'll enter 2, so answer is 10. Okay, now here you can write also so num2 minus num1 in the string. For example, here you can write subtracting 1 from num2. Okay, and similarly here also you can write subtracting num2 from num1. Okay, and similarly here also. So now if you will run this 10 20 and if I'll enter 2, it will give you subtracting num1 from num2, which is 10. Okay, see Varsha, your code is good, so but you know what you are saying, enter third number. Okay, so greater one, right? Okay, this greater one, not these many conditions you have to check. Okay, we will do with the lesser condition. Okay, anyway, this is a greater than b, a greater than c, print a is largest, print l if a greater than b, and c greater than a, print c is largest. No, so these many conditions you don't have to check, but anyway, it's fine. Effort is good, appreciated. Yes, Sagar, any question? Sagar?
No, I don't have any questions. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so oh, okay, sorry Kaushik, then fine, so I'll remember this. So this is the question. Second one is the largest of three numbers, so I'll take num1. Let me take it from here. So I'll write if num1 greater than num2. This is one condition. So if num1 greater than num2, that will be evaluated as true. And I will also check whether num1 greater than num3. Okay. So if this, it means number 1 is greater than both num2 and num3. So I will write largest number is num1, right? Otherwise, what I'll do, I'll check elif. So now I have to check where number 2, right? So whether number 2 is greater or not, correct? So what I will do, see, I have already checked, I have already done the comparison between num1 and num2. Okay, so if let's say this condition is false, okay, so in this case I don't have to check this num1 greater than num2, I just have to check num2 is greater than num3 or not. Okay, only one condition, right? So see, let's say if num1 is greater than num2 true and num1 is greater than num3, then this will be printing num1. Let's say if this is false, num1 is not greater than num2, so it is confirmed that num2 is greater than num1. Now I have to do only comparison with num3, so I'm doing comparison with num3. Now let's say num1 is greater than num2, but num1 is not greater than num3. So in this case also, I know that num2 is not greater than num1, but I have to check only one comparison whether num2 is greater than num3 or not. Okay, so in that case I will do this only one comparison. Okay, I'll not go for the second comparison, num1 greater than num2 or not. Okay, and then I will print here largest is num2. And finally, if both these conditions are false, now I have checked the comparison of num1, num2, num3, everything. So let's say if this is false, num1 is not greater than num2 and num1 is not greater than num3 and num2 is also not greater than num3. So obviously num3 will be greater than among all this. So I will be printing here largest number is num3. Okay. So let's run this. If I'll enter 10, 50, 9 and 9. So the largest is coming as 59. Okay. Let's say if I will enter 10, 9 and 90, then the largest will be coming as 90. Let's say if I will run this with 100, 9 and 80, so the largest will be coming as 100. Okay. Fine. Clear, everyone? Yes, Sankar, any question?
If two numbers are equal.
If two numbers are equal, so let's say 100, 100, 100 and 20. The largest is coming as 100. In that case, which one is getting executed? Num1 greater than num2. This is false. Num1 greater than num3. This is true. So false and true, false. And then num2 greater than num3. This is true. So it is printing num2. So what we can do, we can print here num2. No. We will write here 2, here we will write 1, and here we will write 3. Why I'm writing just to check which one is getting executed. So 100, 100 and 20. So it is executing 2. Okay. Right. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. So now see this example we can do with the next example we will do with. Okay, so this particular thing we can do with the ternary operator also. Okay, what is ternary operator? So ternary operator, you can you can check all these things in a single operation or in a single line. So that ternary operator, basically what it happens. So the syntax for the ternary operator will be expression if condition 1 else expression. Okay, If this condition is satisfied, then this will be the result. If this is false, then this will be the result. Okay, so we can write these conditions in a single line only, and then we can get the result. Okay, so for example, if I want to do it like, you can compare only 2 numbers with this, but let's say if you want to compare for 3 numbers, so you can nest this say ternary operator. How you can write? So expression if condition 1 else expression 2.
Sir, we cannot see your screen. Sorry.
Condition 2, is it visible? Else condition expression 3. Okay, so you can use this ternary operator. Now how you can do that? So see, this expression will be the result if this condition is true. If this condition is false, then this expression will be the result. Okay, now this is for nesting the ternary operator. How you can do? So if this condition is true, then this expression will be the result. Let's say if this condition is false, then it will come to this part. Else this expression will be the result if this condition is true. If both conditions are false, then this expression will be the result. Okay, last. Okay, so let's see that how we can write this our code with this. So what I will check, I will write result is equal to num1. Means num1 will be the value what if num1 greater than num2 and num1 greater than num3. Okay, else the output will be num2 if num2 greater than num3, right? Else I will write num3. Clear? So if I will do this, I'll print result, and then let me run this 100, 120. So the result is 100. Okay, or let's say if I'm running it for 100, 20, and 90, then the result will be 100. Okay, or you can run it for 10, 20, 90, result is 90. Okay, so you can do it using ternary operator also, just really to reduce the number of lines of code. Clear, everyone? If all numbers are equal, then what will happen? The last statement will be executed. Okay, so let's say if you will enter 100, 100, 100, then the by default last statement will be executed. In this case, this third one will be executed. Why? Because this both will be false. Here you are not writing greater than and equal to, you are checking only greater than. Okay, obviously it is just to check the greater than, not equal to. Correct? No, it is not for checking the equals values, it is for checking the greater values. Okay, so for greater the values I have given greater than. So if all the values are equal, then by default this last one will be executed. Num3 will be printing as largest value.
Hi, I had a question.
Yes, sir.
I joined today only, and the floor division. Can you explain that a bit, because I'm not aware of that.
Float division. Okay.
Floor division is the fifth one. Fifth one, floor division.
Okay, so there are 2 types of division. One is float division, and one is floor division. Okay, what is float division? For float division, we have single slash. For floor division, we have double slash. This float division returns you the true division. Okay, and this returns you the quotient or floor value. Okay, now what is floor value? So let's say if I am writing 3.9, what is the floor value of this?
9.
Huh?
3 is the floor value.
3 is
quotient value is 0.09, 0.9.
No, I'm asking floor value. What is
floor? That is 3. That is 3.
Correct. And what is seal value?
0.9.
No, 4. Okay.
Sorry.
4.
Okay, yeah.
4 is the seal value. Okay.
Yeah, ceiling value is 4. Yeah.
So 3 is floor value and 4 is seal value. Okay.
Yeah.
So here, if you do floor division, so let's say if you will divide 2 numbers, print 10/3, it will give you 3.333. So this is the true division. Means when you will divide any number with a second number, after dividing that number completely, whatever result you are getting, that is the true division, right? Means in the decimal point. Correct. That is the true division. But when you divide it by 10/3, it gives you floor value. Means what is the floor value of this? 3.
Yeah.
That will be the result. Okay. So if you execute it, you are getting 3.
Thank you.
We check based on the if all numbers are equal one. So I want to print a statement at the end like all numbers are equal. So should I use else or elif?
If all numbers are equal, so see here you have to write elif. Here you write elif. Okay, write one condition elif. No, you write here elif. Okay, and before this you write one if. If num1 equal to num2 and equal to num3. Okay, check with this. First you will check whether all the numbers are equal or not. If all the numbers are equal, then print all the numbers are equal. Otherwise you go for the comparison. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Shweta, max is the function. We can use that. Not only max, we have max function, we have min function. We are not going to the function as of now. So I'm not discussing about the functions at all. Okay. Okay. So Kaushik, you have checked only one condition. Rest all 100, 400 should be checked for leap year. So let's come to this question, leap year. Just select this multiple lines and put command / or control / okay. Now, let's say I'm going to take one year from the user. Year is equal to int input enter and year. Okay. Now, what I will do, I will check whether the year is divisible by 4 or not. So I'll check year percentile 4 equal to 0 or not. If it is divisible by 4, then I will print it is leap year. Okay. And if it is not divisible by 4, then I will print else not a leap year. Clear? Fine. Till here is this fine. So the last condition is satisfied. If it is divisible by 4, then it is a leap year. Not divisible by 4, it is not a leap year. Okay. Fine. Now, but the first condition says, or this condition says, I have to check whether the number, if number is divisible by 4, then I have to check the divisibility by 100 also. Correct? So if year is divisible by 4, I have to check the divisibility by 100 also. So I'll check if year percentile 100 equal to 0. Okay. Let's say if year is divisible by 4, but not divisible by 100. So what I will print? If it is divisible by 4, but not divisible by 100, then I should print here. So I will write here pass as of now. Here I will write if it is not divisible by 100, then I should print year is not leap year. Okay. Sorry, it should be leap year. Sorry. So if this is divisible by 4 and not divisible by 100, then it will come to this else block and it will print leap year. Okay. But let's say if it is divisible by 100 also. So this condition comes. If year is divisible by 4 and year is divisible by 100, then I have to check the divisibility by 400 also. So here I will write if year percentile 400 equal to 0. Then if it is divisible by 400, so the first condition, if it is divisible by 400, then the year should be leap year. Correct? And if it is not divisible by 400, then I should print second condition. If not divisible by 400, then it says year is not a leap year. Correct? Fine. So if year is divisible by 4, divisible by 100, divisible by 400, year is going to be leap year. Let's say if year is divisible by 4, divisible by 100, okay, but not divisible by 400. So this condition is false. So we will come to the corresponding else block. This is the corresponding else block. It is going to print year is not a leap year. Okay. Now let's say year is divisible by 4, but not divisible by 100. So we should come to the corresponding else block of this. If this is corresponding else block, year was divisible by 4. Okay. So it should be a leap year, right? Now let's say if year is not divisible by 4 also, then it should come to the corresponding else block, which is this. So it should print not a leap year. Clear? If a number is divisible by 400, isn't by default divisible by 400? No, how it is divisible by 400? Check here, 1700 divisible by 100 and 4, but is it divisible by 400? 1800 divisible by 4 and 100, is it divisible by 400? Gayatri? Okay. So it is not mandatory that if a number is divisible by 4 and 100, it should be divisible by 400. It is not mandatory. Okay, now run this code. So you may check with 1800, it is not a leap year. 1700, not a leap year. 1900, not a leap year. If you'll enter, let's say 1600, it's a leap year. If you'll enter 1968, it is a leap year. And if you'll enter 1999, it is not a leap year. Okay. Fine.